What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I would like to talk about draft prospect Drake Maye. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content. Hit that like button for your boy. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys for your continued support. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So as I mentioned in today's video, I do want to talk about draft prospect Drake Maye. Drake Maye is the quarterback that played his college ball at North Carolina University. Drake Maye goes about 6'5", 220 pounds. And I do believe that the Falcons should possibly consider drafting Drake Maye if we decide to trade up for a quarterback, or if we decide to take a quarterback at 8. And if somehow Drake Maye drops to that number 8 pick, I do believe that Drake Maye is one of the better quarterbacks in this draft. I do believe besides Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams, I put him right there, right behind those guys as far as being one of the top tier quarterbacks in this draft. After looking at some of his film and looking at his highlights and things of that nature, I do believe that Drake Maye would fit in this offense that we will have with Zach Robinson as the offensive coordinator. Drake Maye is one of those guys that has a strong arm. He is a guy that can move in and out of the pocket really well. He is athletic. He also comes from a very athletic family. He has great bloodlines. His father played quarterback at the University of North Carolina. His older brother, Luke Maye, actually was on that 2017 North Carolina basketball team. And he also is playing professional basketball overseas, and he had a brief stint in the NBA. But Drake Maye does come from really good bloodlines as far as athletes and things of that nature. And he is one of those guys that, like I mentioned, would fit in this actual scheme that we'll be running under Zach Robinson. He's actually a player that I would compare to Matthew Stafford. I would compare him to a Justin Herbert or a Josh Allen. He would fall under all of those categories, as his game is similar to those guys. A big statured guy who can move in and out of the pocket, a guy who throws the ball well off platform. When he's scrambling, things of that nature, he has a big arm. He made a lot of big throws in North Carolina down the field. And if you want to be able to stretch the field, you want to have a quarterback that has arm strength. And I think that that's one of the better attributes of a Drake Maye, is he's one of those guys like Josh Allen, like Matthew Stafford. He has a really big arm, and being that he's a big guy, 6'5", 220 pounds, he is a guy that's hard to bring down in the pocket because of his size. And I really think that he would be a good pick for our Atlanta Falcons, because he's not a statuesque quarterback. He is one of those guys that can break the pocket, but he's a pass-first quarterback. And I really feel like with this Rams offense, one thing that the Rams have done religiously is had quarterbacks that pass first and run second. And I really feel like if the Falcons are looking for, that next franchise quarterback to run this Zach Robinson, similar Sean McVay type scheme, they want a quarterback that can throw the ball, a quarterback that has good footwork, a quarterback that has the fundamentals. And I think that Drake Maye is one of those guys. If you go look at his completion percentage at the University of North Carolina, he completed about 65% of his passes. So he was a very accurate quarterback. He threw the ball for over 4,000 yards in his freshman season. And he also threw last year over 3,000 yards last season. But he had some really good touchdown numbers. I believe he had about over 30 touchdowns in his freshman season. And last year he had about 20 some touchdowns and only like 9 interceptions. So he had a really good season both in his freshman year and in his sophomore year at North Carolina. He was one of those guys, like I said, that was a playmaker. But one thing that I like about Drake Maye is he's a pass first quarterback. So yes, he's athletic, similar to a Justin Herbert, similar to a Josh Allen, but he only uses his legs when he has to. But he's really good in play action. He's really good at getting the ball out of his hands really quick. And he's also really good at fitting the ball in tight windows. He's one of those guys that's not afraid to rip it and throw the ball in tight, tight windows. Similar to the guys that I mentioned, like a Josh Allen, he's not afraid to make mistakes. And I definitely think that he's one of those guys that can also throw the ball with anticipation. If you go look at his highlights, if you go look at some of his games at North Carolina, he threw the ball sometimes in traffic where it was one-on-one coverage, but he was willing to put the ball up and give his wide receivers a chance to make a play on the ball. He was really good at putting the ball in the vicinity, but putting the ball in areas where only his wide receiver had a chance to make a play. And I really feel like the last couple seasons, we struggled to get guys like Drake London the ball and Kyle Pitts the ball because the quarterbacks weren't willing to just throw the ball in the area and allow their playmakers to make plays. And I think that that's one of the better attributes of Drake Maye, that he understands spatial awareness. He understands that even though a corner may be covering, his wide receiver or his tight end, he'll put the ball in the area to give that guy a chance to go up and make the play, whether they're high pointing the ball or whether him just putting the ball in a tight window and relying on his playmakers to go out there and make plays. But with that being said, you guys give me your thoughts on Drake Maye. As I mentioned, I think he will be a good fit for the Atlanta Falcons. Right now, my top prospect at the quarterback position is Jaden Daniels. But outside of Jaden Daniels, I think that Caleb Williams and Drake Maye, those are the top three guys from what I've seen so far. And I think that Drake Maye is right behind those guys. I pretty much think he would, depending on what situation and what team drafts him, I think he has a chance to be just as good as a Caleb Williams. He has a chance to be just as good as a Jaden Daniels. But with that being said, this being your boy Jew, I have a lot more content coming for you guys. But as always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed. Peace.